Good evening. Welcome to Grandma's Attic Music Review. I'm so happy to be with you in your homes. It's always a pleasure to be able to come to you and bring to you what I deem to be some of the best music in actually the world, but that's just because what we have here in our New England is of the best. Tonight we have a group with us that's going to bring you a little mixture of some Irish, Welsh, American, Americana type stuff. They're really, really good. I had never seen the four of them play together until the acoustic festival, which was during the week of Sailfest. And when I saw them play together, I had to have them here. And we had to do some maneuvering to get it to happen, but they're here with us tonight. And I hope that you will help me welcome into your homes, Friends and Baird.
He and I went walking down by the seaside, seeking good fortune, and what might the time was just as the day was a-dawning. Then after a resting we both took a tramp. We met Sergeant Hopper and Corporal Cramp, besides a wee drummer who beat up our camp with his rowdy dow-dow in the morning. Oh, he says, me young fellows, if you will enlist 10 guineas in gold, I will slip in your fist. Besides a crown for to kick up the dust and drink the king's health in the morning. Had we been such fools as to take your advance, it's a right bloody slander would be our poor chance. For we'd have no scruples but to be sent to France, where we would be shot in the morning. Oh, he says, me young fellows, if I hear but one word, I instantly now will launch out my sword, and into your bodies as strength may afford. So now, my gay devils, take warning. But Arthur and I, we soon drew our odds, and scarce gave a chance for to launch out their swords. Our whacking shillelaghs came over their heads and paid them right smart in the morning. The wee drummer, we rifled his pouch, and we made a football of his rowdy dow-dow into the ocean to rock and to roll, and barring the day it's returning. As for the old rapier that hung by his side, we flung it as far as we could in the tide. To the devil I bid you, says Arthur McBride, to temper your steel in the morning. Thank you. So the next song we're going to perform is called Sally Brown, and it's an old 18th century sea shanty, and it involves a call and response section. So you can almost imagine as I'm calling and Gabe responds, the men on the ship heaving on the ropes and raising the sails.
Don't forget about this.
Okay. I shipped on board of a Liverpool liner. Way, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled till the day. I'm going to spend my money along with Sally Brown. Sally Brown is a nice young lady. Way, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled till the day. I'm going to spend my money along with Sally Brown. She's tall and she's dark, but she's not too shady. Way, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled till the day. I'm going to spend my money along with Sally Brown. Her mother doesn't like no tarry sailor. Way, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled till the day. I'm going to spend my money along with Sally Brown. She wants her to marry a one-legged captain. Way, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled till the day. I'm going to spend my money along with Sally Brown. Sally wouldn't wed me, so I shipped across the water. Way, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled till the day. I'm going to spend my money along with Sally Brown. And now I'm courting a Sally's daughter. Way, hey, roll and go. And we rolled all night and we rolled till the day. I'm going to spend my money along with Sally Brown.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So this next song was written by Ewan MacColl back in the 60s, and it's called Go Move Shift, and it's about the travelers in Britain. And we performed this song at Sailfest, and we're going to do it again now.
Woo!
Born on the common by a building site where the ground was rutted by trailer wheels. Oh, the local Christian said to me, "You're lowering the price of our property. You'd better get born in someplace else. Move along, get along, move along, get along, go, move shit." Born appetite, he lifted time in a noble tent by a tatty field. And the farmer says the work's all done. It's time that you was moving on. You'd better get born in someplace else. Move along, get along, move along, get along, go, move shit. Born at the back of a blackthorn hedge where the white hoarfrost lay all around. No Eastern kings came bearing gifts. Instead the orders came to shift. You'd better get born someplace else. Move along, get along, move along, get along, go, move shit. Mary Joyce was a living by the side of the road. vigilantes came to the Torndale side, shot her son in the middle of the night. You better get born someplace else. Move along, get along, move along, get along, go, move, shake. Oh, wagon, tent, or trailer pull, last month, last year, or in far off days. Born here or 1,000 miles away, there's always men nearby who say you better get born someplace else. Move along, get along, move along, get along, go. Move along, get along, go. Move, shake.
So this next song is called Lock the Door, Lauriston, and it was written in the 1600s during the Cromwell period, when Cromwell had overthrown the English government and he was trying to consolidate his power over the rest of Britain. And he marched his armies into Scotland, and we have one of the few historical instances of Scottish lowlanders rising up and defeating an English army purely on their own. So there's some interesting vocabulary in here because it is an older song, but yeah, hopefully you enjoy it.
Lock the door, Lauriston, Lion of Linnesdale. Lock the door, Lauriston, Rover comes on. The Armstrongs are flying, the widows are crying. Castletown is burning, and Oliver is gone. Lock the door, Lauriston, high on the weather gleam. See how the Saxodoves they bob on the sky. Yeoman and Carbineer, Billman and Halberdier. Fierce is the battle, and far is the cry. Newcastle brandishes by his broad scimitar. Ridley is riding his fleet-footed grey. Ridley and Howard there, Wandle of Windermere. Lock the door, Lauriston, hold them at bay. So why do you smile, noble Elliot Lauriston? Why is the joy candle gleam in your eye? You bold border ranger, beware of the danger. Your foes are relentless, determined and I am Mangerton and Ogilvy, Rayburn and Everby, Old Sindo, Wintram and all his array. From all Northumberland, Teesdale and Cumberland, here at the Brecon Tower and shall the fray. See how they wane the proud file o' the Windermere. Howard, a woe to your hopes of the day. Hear the rude welkin rend, while Scottish shouts ascend. Elliot Lauriston, Elliot for aye.
Nice.
That's an old one. This next song is called The Green Plague, and it is also a Scottish song, but it's a lot later on in history, during the Napoleonic period, when there was a Scottish regiment stationed on the island of Majorca near Spain. At the time, the Napoleonic Wars were taking place in Spain, and this song is actually from the time period. It's really kind of an interesting glimpse into the cultural shifting that took place between the Scottish and Spanish peoples.
On the 26th of July, Lord Lennox man came here. They dazzled all our lassies' eyes, and their armor shone so clear. They dazzled all our lassies' eyes, and we met them in the street. And when we met them in the lane, we kissed them, say sweet. to go along with you and to give to you my hand. Your colonel, he would part us before we left the land. Never mind our colonel, for he loves you as his life, and he gave to us an order for each man to have a wife. Each man to have a wife, my dear, for to keep him company. And I'll roll you in my green plate while we sail upon the sea. What would me mam and daddy think if they knew I were with thee, rolling in your green plate and dandling on your knee? Never mind your mam and dad, for what do you repine? If I had you in Majorca, then you would drink the wine. You would drink wine and brandy and Para company, and I roll you in my green plate while we sail upon the sea. They've gone to Majorca, they've left the girls behind. They've gone to Majorca for the sake of Spanish wine. Some of them were sorry, and some of them right glad, but I wish that I'd gone with him, all rolled up in his plate. If ever he returns again, happy I will be, rolling in his green plate, dandling on his knee.
Thank you.
Take it.
Why not?
We'll make up for it.
So this next song is called The Ghost of Molly Maguires, or The Ghost of the Molly Maguires, I should say. The Molly Maguires were an interesting organization. They formed out of Irish coal miners in the Appalachian Mountains. And their modus operandi, rather, was to kind of use terrorist tactics to get better working conditions, better wages for the Irish miners. So obviously they were vilified by the American government, and membership in the Molly Maguires eventually resulted in a hanging sentence regardless of your participation in the actual terrorism. So this song is about them.
Oh, the wind blows wild at night past the break of melancholy. You stand in the dark with your ears to the wind, you'll hear the sons of the Mollies. Deep in the dark of the old mine shaft, smell the smoke and the fire, and the murmur low from the mine shaft below is the ghost of the Molly Maguires. Oh, I'll tell you boys, Mickey Doyle is me name. I come from Cavan County. I shot the boss of the Langsford mine. My soul is up for bounty, and I will die with my head held high. I fought for the men below, those men who slave and fight and die down in the black hell hole. Oh, I'll tell you boys, Sean Ryan is my Oh, well, I'll tell you, boys, Alex Campbell is my name. No pistol did I fire, but I will fall from the gallows wall just for being a Molly Maguire. And I will die with my head held high. I fought for the men below, those men who slave and fight and die down in the black hellhole. Oh, when the wind blows twilight night past the breaker melancholy, if you stand in the dark with your ear to the wind, you'll hear the sons of the Mollies. Deep in the dark of the old mine shaft, smell the smoke and the fire, and the murmur low from the mine shaft below is the ghost of the Molly Maguire.
So here's another song that we performed at Sailfest, and we're missing the drums on this one, but I think it sounds a little folkier than punky like we did it before. This song is called "Come Out Ye Black and Tans." In Ireland in the 1920s, during the Civil War, or pre-Civil War I should say, the Black and Tans were the Irish or the English military stationed in Ireland meant to enforce law and order. And they were called Black and Tans because some of them were the tan military uniform, some of them were the black police uniform. So they kind of had a mix because they didn't have enough uniforms available. But they were responsible for many of the atrocities committed during that war, the Irish War for Independence. So this song does not look favorably upon them.
I was born on a Dublin street where the royal drums do beat, and those English loving feet, they walked all over us. But each and every night when my father'd come home tight, he'd invite the neighbors outside with this chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Kilashara. Come tell us how you slew those brave Arabs 2 by 2. Like the Zulu, they had spears and bows and arrows. You bravely faced each one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened them damn natives to their marrow. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away the lanes of Kilashara. Oh, come let us hear you tell how you slammed the great Parnell when you fought us well and truly persecuted. Where are the sneers and cheers that shall loudly let us hear when our leaders of 16 were executed? Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you land like a from the green and lovely lanes of Kilashara. And blood, 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 and
next song is also an old Irish one. It's pretty classic. It's the Star of the County Down.
In Banbridge Town in the county down, one morning last July, from a bowling green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her two bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxing elf, sure I shook myself for to see I was truly there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Quay, Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. As she onward sped, sure I scratched my head and I looked with a feeling rare. And I says I to a passer-by, who's the maid with the nut brown hair. He smiled at me, he says that she's the gem of all Ireland's crown. Young Rosie McGann from the banks of the Bann, she's the star of the county. At the harvest fair she'll surely be there, and she'll dress in her Sunday clothes, with her hat cocked right and her shoes shone right, and a smile from a nut brown rose. The pipe I'll smoke, the horse I'll yoke, till me plough turns a rust-coloured brown, till a smiling bride by my own fireside sits the star of the county down. From Bantry Bay to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down. From Bantry Bay to Derry Quay, from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the brown Colleen that I met in the county down.
All right, this next song is a Woody Guthrie song. We're going to kind of move across the ocean to America. This song is Oklahoma Hills, and it sounds kind of innocuous, but it's a political song because he wrote it from California for all of the Okies who had fled the Dust Bowl and moved there. So it's kind of a song of solidarity.
Way down yonder on the Indian Nation, ride my pony on the reservation. Those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder on the Indian Nation, a cowboy's life is my occupation. Those Oklahoma hills where I was born. And was I turn life a page to the land of the great Osage, in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Many a page of my life has turned, many a lesson I have learned, and I feel it's in those hills I still belong. Way down yonder on the Indian Nation, ride my pony on the reservation. Those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder on the Indian Nation, cowboy's life is my occupation. Those Oklahoma hills where I was born. As I sit here today, many a mile I am away from the place I rode my pony through the draw, where the oak and blackjack trees kiss the playful prairie breeze, and I feel it's in those hills I still belong. Way down yonder on the Indian Nation, ride my pony on the reservation. Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder on the Indian Nation, a cowboy's life is my occupation. Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder on the Indian Nation, riding my pony on the reservation. Those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder on the Indian Nation, cowboys like this my occupation. Those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Now as I sit here today, many a mile I am away from the place I rode my pony through the draw, where the oak and blackjack trees kiss that playful prairie breeze, and I feel it's in those hills I still belong. Way down yonder on the Indian Nation, riding my pony on the reservation. Those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder on the Indian Nation, a cowboy's life is my occupation. Those Oklahoma hills where I was born.
Where did we read?
All right.
Oh, and Patty dear, and have you heard the news that's going round? The shamrock is forbade by laws to grow on Irish ground. St. Patrick's Day no more will keep, our colours can't be seen, for there's a cruel law against the wearing of the green. For the wearing of the green, for the wearing of the green, they're hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. And if at last our colours should be torn from Ireland's heart, her sons at least will now know the blood that they have shed. You may take the shamrock from your hand and cast it on the sod, but we'll take root and flourish still, though underfoot is trod. When the law can stop the blades of grass from growing as they grow, and when the leaves in summertime their verdure does not show, you may take the colours of your land and cast them on the sod, for 'twill lie down but flourish still, though underfoot is trod. For the wearing of the green, for the wearing of the green, they're hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. I went to Napper Tandy and he took me by the hand. He told me sadder words than I shall ever hear again. The sons and daughters of our country now, they must confess, they're hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. For the wearing of the green, for the wearing of the green, they're hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. For the wearing of the green, for the wearing of the green, they're hanging men and women for the wearing of the green.
All right.
While the guys are getting over here to sit down and join me, let me talk to you a little bit about downtown. Once again, downtown New London. Have you been there recently? Oh my goodness, there's so much going on. There is a farmer's market every single Sunday from 10 to 4 down on Waterfront Park. And if you haven't had the opportunity to get down and see what's going on, please do. Please check out all the happenings that are going on around town. The new events magazine, I'm not sure that's what it's called, for New London is out, and it has all the things that are going to be going on in the next few months, right into the fall. I Am Fest is coming. Don't forget that. That's a great big music festival that happens downtown New London. That's going to be so much fun. Every Wednesday night, for those of you that don't know, Summer Flickers is happening at the Hygienic. It's very minimal price to get in. I think it's actually a suggested donation. And great movies. You can check that out at hygienic.org. And that's just fabulous stuff. Check out what's going on in your neighborhood. say hi to your neighbors. That's one of the things that's not happening enough in this world. Say hi to your neighbors and be friends with the people that you're closest to. Love someone today, and here we are with Friends and Baird.
Apparently we are.
How is that? That's so neat. How did you guys get together? There's 4 of you, and each one of you in your own right are extremely talented, and we'll get to each of you and what you're about. But how did you find these other 3 very talented people?
Well, I know them all from high school. I met Gabe and Selena in orchestra, and we had a band, Celtic Cule.
Yeah, I remember that band. You've been here.
Yeah, this is kind of the resurrection of that in a more modern sense. And then I started playing with Matt after Selena and Gabe went off to college. And then I kind of put it all together. And so here we are.
Are you younger than these guys, Matt?
I'm about the same age, I think.
Yeah.
And what did you think when you saw what was going on with this band? What were you thinking about?
Oh, my first intention was, wow, these guys are great musicians. At least that's how they come off in their performances, at least.
They do.
Yeah, you were one of our biggest fans. You actually came to our shows.
Yeah, you came to our shows. That's true.
Yeah, they do Sailfest every year, so.
Right.
Yeah.
They're good musicians. That's true. Gabe, you come across as more of a multi instrumentalist than the others. What are some of the instruments that you play?
I don't think that's true. Baird plays anything that you
well,
can strum.
I know we'll get to him. He's been here
he
before.
strums anything you can strum.
Yeah.
That's
in
accurate.
his Bairdish fashion. But violin was actually my first instrument way back when. I took lessons as a very young child for a few years, and then kind of got sick of it and haven't really practiced too much since until, playing with this band. More recently I haven't been playing violin much till the summer, getting back here and playing with these guys. And it's been a lot of fun because, sometimes when you are away from something for a long time, you come back to it with all these new ideas and new knowledge, and it's been fun so far. There's still a lot more I could practice for sure, but I've been enjoying it.
What do you play besides your violin?
Well, at college, I'm mostly known as a drummer and a percussionist, and also a bassist as more recently, which I guess there's no particular reason that it happened that way, but I like playing drums and I like playing bass.
I've always been tempted to have us do dueling banjos with 2 basses.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? That'd be
it's
fun.
It's not the worst idea I've had.
Do you
That's
have
saying
that?
something.
I don't want to get into the negative here. That's a little scary. Selena, what makes you play the viola?
Well, I don't really have a very creative answer. It's just the instrument that I've been playing since the 4th grade, and I stuck with it all throughout middle school, all throughout high school, and throughout college, playing in a lot of more formal orchestras, symphony orchestras, string orchestras, and such. It's an instrument that music, when I know a song, when I know a piece, it can just come to me on viola, and I know how to play it very easily, so it lends itself very well to this sort of music where we don't have a lot of things written out, and I can just hear something and I can play it, so it makes it a lot easier for me to play with these people on viola.
What makes you stay with a group that does all this really old, historically relevant music?
Well, commitment to the people and to the group, and the fun that we have when we rehearse sometimes.
Nice.
Sometimes we play more recent stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't heard any of that. I'd love to have you guys play more and more recent stuff on the show, on a different show. That would be fun. I'll have you back over and over and over again. It's one of my favorite things. Baird, I need you to come into the studio now. This is not how this one happened. This was kind of a stretch to get you all here together.
Yeah.
Because you 2 are away at school still, right?
Well, I was doing a few different things. I haven't been at school much, since Sailfest, but I don't know. We figured it out.
Yeah, and Selena's graduated since. So
Nice.
So I'm in the area.
Yeah.
That's nice. And what are you doing in school? Are you away at school or
Oh, not at the moment. I go back later in August.
later in August? Where are you going to school?
I'm over at Vassar, actually.
Really?
Yeah,
Nice school. Didn't that used to be an all-girls school?
Yeah.
maybe 50 years ago, I think.
Yeah. Con did too.
Yeah.
Connecticut
I
College.
knew that
Yeah.
Connecticut College did. I like Connecticut College for various reasons, including WCNI New London, by the
Oh,
way,
yeah.
90.9 FM. Let me get a little plug
Yeah.
in there.
Oh, they're good.
Baird, you're the spearhead of these very talented young people. What makes you so driven to bring forward the things from the past, to bring forward the historical relevance that you bring to us? Because you're really not just bringing forward this music, you're teaching people too.
Right.
What gives you the drive to do that?
I've always enjoyed music that tells a story, and I
Mhm.
think that the music that we play tells important stories that people that's relevant now. You know, if it's I've always been interested in history. You know, I'm a government major, so
Right.
that kind of stuff has always come first. But I feel like, you know, to understand the past and the people from the past, we have to kind of understand their music. And folk music that we play is essentially pop music from, you know, 100, 200 years ago.
Absolutely.
So when we play this kind of music, it's almost like you're hearing the voices of those people. You're going to look back in time and see what they were actually saying and expressing.
Do your contemporary peers find you to be weird in doing what you do?
Oh, I'm sure that some of them find me to be weird, but I guess these kind of are my peers.
Yeah,
You know, the
exactly.
people that are around me are the people that, you know, are interested in the same sorts of things.
That's correct. You're also very involved in something else that is kind of near and dear to my heart. So let's talk about it just a little bit.
Mhm.
What is this other thing that you're involved with? Has something to do with green?
Yes. Yeah, I am the co-chair of the Waterford Green Party.
Nice.
And these people are all, actually, you're also the co-chair of the Waterford Green Party. Yeah.
What exactly is, for those viewers that don't know, because there are people out there that have never heard of the Green Party,
Right.
what exactly is the Green Party and how can people get involved?
Well, we're an alternative third party. We formed 3 years ago, I want to say, in Waterford.
There was already a Green Party here in New London,
Right, there was, but we
and they gave you a lot of support and
They've-
help. I
yes.
just want to
yeah,
put
the,
that
the
out
New
there
London
to
Greens
y'all.
have been very, very helpful. We're an alternative third party. We formed the party in Waterford specifically because we saw a lot of political stagnation. We felt that there was time for a different perspective in town government, and in our short time of existing, I think that we've really pushed that perspective. We had a candidate actually win an election
Nice.
locally. He's on the Alternative Zoning Board of Appeals.
Nice.
We're running a candidate now for state representative, Lauren Shaw. The campaign's really taking off. Politically, right now, the time is ripe, I think.
Oh my goodness, I have to tell you, I agree.
People are so thoroughly disillusioned with the Democratic and Republican parties that it's like people ask, well, can you win with a Green Party campaign? I say, well, can you win with your Republican campaign? I mean,
Can we win with what's being presented to us at this point?
Yeah.
And I absolutely irrevocably say there's no way we can win.
Yeah.
If we keep going in the direction we're going in right now. I hate to get all political on this show, but I have to put it out there right now. We're so close to a primary coming up in just a couple of weeks. We have a primary coming up here in New London and around. And I really think that we have to pay attention to what we're voting for and not just vote because we say we're Republican or say we're Democrat or say we're independent or whatever. We have got to choose because of the right reasons to choose. We have to find right reasons to choose. And we do have a voice in local government.
absolutely.
People are like, well, we don't have a voice anymore, but we do.
Oh yeah.
We really do. And
Lo-
if y'all think I'm getting a little political, it's because it's important. And Gramma always gets talking about things that are important. And you do have a voice, especially here in local government. Get on it. Get out there and vote. It's coming up. I'll talk more about the primaries coming up on my next show. But really, get out there and vote. Okay, let's get back to music because this really, after all, is Grandma's
Yes.
Attic Music Review. Let's talk about some of the other instruments that you didn't bring with you this week. Where do you find the instruments that you choose to play? All you guys, you're playing an old instrument in your own right. Selena, your instrument goes back several centuries,
Oh,
actually.
Yeah, at least.
So for
You know.
several years, I've been playing the harp, and fortunately or unfortunately, we don't have harp as part of this set of music that we played today, which is sad for viewers who like to hear harp, but
Yeah.
good if you are the one who has to carry the harp, transport it, tune it. So
Tuning a harp is a serious endeavor. I've seen it happen, but I've also seen you play, and you played beautifully. It was
Thank you.
one of the first. It was the first thing I ever saw you play, was your harp. What made you choose that instrument?
it is an instrument that always has appealed to me, and I never really thought that I could play it seriously. I always thought, people don't actually play the harp, but I was in orchestra one day, and our conductor at the time had us read an article about how good it is for you musically to play the piano, because you learn a top part and a bottom part, and you learn how the two parts work together to create the music. And I thought, okay, I'm not so interested in piano, but harp is the same way, in that there's a top part and a bottom part. You play with two hands, different, the treble part and the bass part. And I thought, you know what, I want to do this. I want to broaden my musical experience. I want to learn a fun new instrument. I want to see if my mom will be willing to buy a harp.
Kind of an investment in your future, I might add.
Yep.
Absolutely. Now, what are some of the strange instruments that you bring to the table?
They're not as strange as some of the instruments I've tried to bring to the table, but I play the Irish bouzouki.
That's right.
I play a 5-string banjo and a mountain dulcimer as well.
Very
Those are kind of the three instruments that I have played with these people.
Right.
I didn't bring them today because we're kind of doing a weird sound thing, and I wanted
Yeah.
to keep everything
Well,
simple.
we had to keep things simple.
Yeah. But,
For those of you that don't know, we're missing our sound man today, and we had to provide sound on our own, and these guys did it. They pulled it out, so
we'll see.
it will be fine. It will be fine. If you had one thing that you wished that you could bring to the table and bring to the population as a whole in your career musically, I'd like each of you to answer this, so think about it, okay? What would you want to bring to the table, to bring to the universe, to bring to the population, either with or without your music, in your lifetime? Gabe?
Well, gee, I don't know. I mean, so far it's kind of like I keep doing what I've been doing, and it's like there keeps being more to learn. I mean,
Kinda
it's
like the
definitely
more
not
you
too
learn, the
early
more
to
you
get
know you
big
need to
picture.
learn.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like, there's not really one end destination in sight, I guess. More of, keep seeing how many different things I can explore, how far I can go.
Nice. Selena?
Hopefully live long enough to find out.
I guess if I had to say one thing that I think more people in the general population should be able to experience, I would say being able to play an instrument as part of a larger group, as part of an orchestra, or in our case we're a quartet, but particularly for me, playing in orchestras is extremely fun and extremely powerful, because you are giving it your all, and then the whole is so much bigger than what you are bringing to the table, and it makes you feel part of it, and I think it's an amazing feeling that I would wish upon everyone.
So, in your opinion, everybody should learn to play something, even if it's just the rhythm sticks. Everybody should learn to play some kind of musical instrument. Do you agree?
I think there's something fulfilling and very fun to be had from any instrument after you get past the years of your parents not letting you quit and you wanting to quit when you're in elementary school.
Well, and that happens, and I think that happens to most musicians. I read an article recently about Beethoven having a temper tantrum about his playing, and his father being very stern with him about it. What about you, Baird?
If there's something I can bring to people, I think it's going to be a different answer from the rest of these guys. But I think it's to bring people kind of, real folk music, as I put it. And what I mean by that is, I was down in Philadelphia for the DNC protests, And a big thunderstorm came and pouring rain. Everybody all the protesters crowded under this overpass. And
Okay.
somebody grabbed out a guitar and everybody just started singing, "This land is your land." It's little moments like that where you don't find it like on a stage, you don't find it like in an auditorium, you find that kind of music under an overpass in a rainstorm in Philadelphia. And that's the kind of music and feeling that I want to bring to people.
I got shivers when you said that. That song means so much to so many people, and who doesn't know it? You just proved that.
Yeah.
So many people know that, and folk music has taken on somewhat of a different connotation in this day and age, and so it's hard to bring people around to saying, okay, this is new folk music, but this is real folk music. Folk music is old. It's what this country was really founded on. And your answer would be?
Well, what can I say? I think my answer is a combination of Baird and Selena's. I mean, I'm primarily a jazz musician, so I see.
Really?
Yeah, I see music as a means of communication, especially in that sort of small group setting. A lot of kids take music lessons as a kid, and they sort of get spiteful about the instrument. How soon can I get out of high school and quit this thing and sell my instrument and never play forever? But no, it really helps to encourage people to open their ears, get a palate for what sort of sounds are around them, because I don't know, I listen to music like that and I get very excited and I want to go back into the public and I want to recreate that feeling.
Yeah, I get that. Oh, I get that more than you'll ever know. I can't play anything but the radio, but when I say that, I play it on the radio. So as always, every time I do a show, we are running out of time, and I really want the audience to remember you guys. So can you make sure you unhook your mics and take us out with a song? Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me, and take us out with a song. While they're getting back over to their instruments, let me remind you to shop local. Remember that the money that you spend here in your community stays here in your community. Our guys are just about ready to play for you. There's a bunch of new shops downtown. There's all kinds of new clothing shops along Bank Street. Support local, support your mom and pop shops. The money you spend in your community stays in your community. Check out the Green Party. If you haven't checked out the Green Party, I am across the board. I vote the way I feel is best for us. But I voted for Green, and I believe in what the Green Party stands for. So check out all of your candidates. Make sure you know who you're voting for. Is everybody ready? Until next week, everybody. Bye-bye. God bless, and have a really great week.
So here's a little glimpse of an underpass in Philadelphia. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to New York Islands, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forests to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. In the squares of the city, by the shadow of the steeple, by the relief office, I saw my people as they stood there hungry. I stood there singing. This land is made for you and me. This land is your land. This This land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the redwood forest